Welcome to another news edition of The Flore. We're going to be diving into the news on D&D, Witcher, and all the other universes we like to cover, Cyberpunk and all of that.
Do you remember the first story that was so spellbinding that it drove you to break the rules and stay up all night? To keep reading, keep listening, keep playing? So good you forgot your life and lived there?
So good that the moment it ended, you asked yourself, what next?
Welcome to The Flore. Our goal is to take you back, take you deeper, to explore and understand more, and relive that childlike wonder.
Join us as we dive deep into humanity's greatest stories, no matter how they are told, through books, movies, television, even games.
One of us does an in-depth research on our topic. One of us is familiar with the topic.
And one of us knows nothing. So the right questions will always be asked and will be addressed for anyone coming into the topic, regardless of how much you know.
Enjoy another world, another adventure, another spellbinding story. Join us on The Flore. As we're currently releasing The Witcher now, we're going to start there. So the only real news we have here is an update on Blood Origins. And we now know that this will be about the rats. And so if you're unfamiliar with that, it's probably because you've only watched the Netflix series. The Rats is a group or a gang that Cirilla joins at a time where she's separated from Geralt and kind of making her own way in the world. So we know that it will be about them. Now, we do know it's a prequel, so this will definitely be before Cirilla joins the gang and be diving into their stories there. Now, given that the history of the rats is not really covered in the books, this will again probably be a Netflix exclusive version of the storytelling going on here. In D&D, they are working on making the older modules and campaigns compatible with 5e and 6e. I imagine a lot of this is about difficulty checks and skill checks that were originally using skills and difficulties that were no longer in the game, right? Certain skills have been condensed down, right? Climbing, swimming is now just athletics. And so they're working on making all of those backwards compatible with the update so that you can still use them and go back to some of these classics here. A Dragonlance board game is on the horizon and in development. I don't know exactly when this is going to launch, but they do want to stop using the word race and start using the word species to differentiate each other. This was an article that got a lot of buzz, but, it's really just control, search, all, switch is really all it is. Control, search, all, race, switch all to species. That's the whole change that's happening right there. And then D&D is getting a Lego set. For Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, we will get a set in second season. So they did do well enough to get a season 2 on this, even though there was a lot of controversy over it. So for Brandon Sanderson, The Lost Metal was released during November. And this is the last of the second age of the Mistborn series, or at least as he's planned it out. And he's actually really good about sticking to his plans. So I imagine that's pretty definite. He may do more in the Mistborn universe, but it will be something else. And second project, Secret Project number 2, has a final draft. So that will then go into the polishing, editing process, and we will finally find out what that is. And
Wait. So I know you're like, we don't know what that is, but Secret Project 2, what's that in reference to?
So during the pandemic, Brandon Sanderson continued to maintain his normal production rate on his novels, but he also wrote 4 other books because he just, without doing all the tours and everything, he had a lot more time. So he just wrote a lot.
Okay.
And so these were announced as his 4 secret projects. He ran a huge Kickstarter. I think brought in 40 million, like the biggest Kickstarter ever.
Wow.
These. Yeah, like he crushed it. And so these are then, of course, labeled as Secret Project until they're released and have a name. So we now know that Secret Project number 2, he's finished the final draft. And I guess once all the polishing and stuff has gone into it, we'll find out what that is. So that's what Secret Project means. And that's it for the worlds that I cover.
All right. Well, in Cyberpunk news, Artel Soren will be releasing a Cyberpunk Edgerunners Mission Kit tabletop RPG.
Tabletop. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So this is in addition to the Cyberpunk Red, right? But this is set in 2077, not in the time of the Red, which is in the 40s.
Right.
And mission kit means that you won't need the core rule book for it. It'll have the rules in there for you, so you could just play Cyberpunk 2077 off of the book that they are going to be releasing. That's exciting news there. In Dune news, Dune Sisterhood has begun filming. They also have brought on Tramis Femel in, Raised by Wolves, Vikings, the bearded Rusky fella. Also, Dune Extended Edition of the movie is getting ready for release. The director says it's going to be just under 6 hours. That's about
holy 6 hours. I mean, I'm familiar with the complexities of the novel, and I guess that kind of makes sense, but wow.
Well, and what he said that a lot of this content is just strange ships taking off and landing really slowly. He mentioned as well that he's working on a project that's really just going to be that strange ships taking off and landing slowly. I can't tell if this is a tongue-in-cheek comment or if he's saying that he's going to go like really hard Kubrick. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so in Dune comic books, Boom Studios is going to be releasing Dune House Harkonnen Volume 1. This is the first of a brand new issue. It'll be 12 issues, and that will be available on January 18th of next year, just a couple months out. We have Aliens Fireteam Elite up for a Grammy, the best score soundtrack for video games and other interactive media. This is a brand new Grammy they're introducing this year. So the soundtrack is up against Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dawn of Ragnarok, Call of Duty Vanguard, Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, and Old World. Reaching into Predator news, Predators 2 was on the docket, and Disney decided to go with Prey instead. After its smashing success, Predators 2 is officially canceled. It is not going to be produced by them.
Oh, I thought when you said success, I was like, oh, so they're going to do it. They're like, no, they're going to go Prey 2.
Yeah. More likely, we're going to get Prey 2, and we won't be seeing a Predators 2.
It's so interesting how the success can kill a similar creative project rather than bring it to life. So interesting.
Nola Holloway's Alien TV show is not finished writing, but they are scheduled to begin filming at the beginning of 2023. We do know that he is setting it in the 21st century and that it is set on Earth. A poster that came out was 3 giant face huggers spread out over the Earth. The script has been described as brave reinnovation, so this may be an alternative to what we've seen in the films so far. We also get a poster for the movie coming out as well. This is the Fade Alvarez movie, and that one's got a alien with a bloody face in front of Earth. And so we're getting kind of traction on both sides there. Alien Dark Descent, the video game coming out, they released a new trailer, cinematic trailer you can go check out. And Aliens Fireteam Elite tweeted out that they have a new mission coming. And now in the cisterns of Katega. Sweet. So, moving on more alien news. It was kind of a big alien month. The Fade Alvarez movie is in talks to cast Callie Spenny? I think it's Spenny. For a major role. This might be Amanda Ripley. That's Elaine Ripley's daughter. We also have rumors that she might be playing Newt. And this is going to be a reboot, creating a new sequel to Aliens, the second film, erasing Aliens 3 from the canon. Whether or not that is true, we don't know, but we do know that this will not be a continuation of the film so far. So that is what I have for my news.
Okay, well, if you're expecting me to have as much or more, prepare to be incredibly disappointed. However, I do have a couple things in my universes. Number 1, Black Adam came out last month, had mixed reviews. I don't know if that's because critics being critics or if People just don't understand the character. But that came out. Give it a watch. Worth watching. Number 2, Skull Island. So in Monsterverse universe, they are planning on making a Skull Island animated movie on Netflix. They don't have a date. They say in 2022, but we're kind of getting to the end of 2022, so that's probably going to get pushed back to next year.
Yeah.
A sad one to me, you guys probably don't know this, Young Justice. It's a TV show on HBO. It follows some of the sidekicks of famous heroes in the DC universe. It will not be renewed for a 5th season as they're trying to figure out all their DC properties and consolidate. Very good.
It's not just because they're sidekicks.
It's a very good show.
Okay.
I'd give it a watch if I was someone who liked good shows. I think the only other thing I have is, I guess, Monsterverse. We'll head back over there real quick. The next Godzilla vs. King Kong will be set in 2024. We don't have a date yet specifically, and we don't have a title, but that's what they're looking at. So we got another year and a half, 2 years.
All right.
But it sounds like we got a lot of alien stuff we can hang out and play with until then.
Yeah, it sounds like the Xenoverse had a big month.
It seems like they were playing like keeping up with the Joneses. You know, somebody released something and somebody else is like, well, we're working on this. Let's release ours. Oh, yeah. Oh, now everyone's on the boat.
You're right. Yeah. As I think back to your presentation, I was like, yeah, it really does sound like that a little bit. Somebody's like, they released this. Be like, well, what do we have? We can release something, right? Put a poster together.
I would say Aliens Fire Team Elite was the only one where it was like they had a real solid like content to give us. Everyone else, it was like teaser stuff, and theirs is the one that kind of would top all of that. So yeah.
Okay, well, again, we're still kind of new to the news stuff. We do want to put it out there so you can keep a finger on the universes you love and know what's going on, so you don't miss stuff. But let us know if these are episodes you want us to keep doing, or do you want us to just stick with the lore dives? Still waiting on a fair amount of feedback on that to make a decision going forward. But we hope maybe you weren't floored today, but at least you know where to go for your next fix. Thanks for listening.
Leave us a review. Tell us why you like listening to us. Is it our awesome deep dives? Is it our amazing back and forth? Is it our charming good looks?
What would you like us to add or change? You can put that in the review as well. We read reviews.
Yeah, and if you're going to be leaving us a review telling us what you like about it, maybe you even want to share the content with your friends. Like and share on social media. You can join us on Twitter and Facebook. We post memes. And we actually started a Discord, so come play with us.
So a lot of the worlds we cover have a retcon. If you're not familiar with that term, it's reconstruction. Or sometimes we might use a bad source for some of our lore research. And if that happens, feel free to email us at florefantasyandlore@gmail.com. That is Flore spelled Flore, fantasyandlore@gmail.com. And if you're angry enough, we'll read it on the air.
Yes, we will. Also, the treasure room is now available. We have locked a few secrets for everything we cover in there, and each week we add more.
And you can find the treasure room on patreon.com/Flore Fantasy and Lore. And how do you spell that, Aaron?
That's lore with an F at the beginning. So it sounds like floor, but it's not the floor you're thinking because it's our floor.
We hope you enjoyed your time on the floor. Think about your favorite part of the episode. Now, think about your nerdiest friend. Who is it? What is their name? They want to know about the floor. Stop holding out on them. Go and tell them about your favorite part.
Because all of this is more fun together.